Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Trey, and I guess this would probably be Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Kwanzaa, all of that little fun stuff, because I'm about to post this video after the holidays, so happy belated holidays. But I want to talk about Matrix and the whole Spider-Man thing, because of course, Spider-Man crossed $1 billion, and they did it without having to go to Japan or China, which is great. So, I mean, let's be honest, we all knew that movie was going to do well, especially with the Spider-Verse characters that are going in. When you have both Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire Spider-Man in the Spider-Man movie, I mean, how could you not have thought that movie was going to? And the reason why I really want to talk about it is because not only did Spider-Man do well, apparently Sing 2 did well as well. So, and Matrix came out and it didn't do well at all. I don't know how much Matrix made in the box office. Don't really care. We just know that's a box office flop, along with Kingsman, which, I think it's kind of weird when the two main characters aren't there. And I understand this is a prequel, but maybe if you probably started that movie out with those characters first and then worked your way with Eggy, then maybe it could have worked. But I don't know. I don't know what to really expect from Kingman. It looks interesting, but I don't know if it's worth going to the theaters to see. Unlike Spider-Man and Sing 2, which, you got hardcore fans that'll go and see that, and then you got families who'll go and see that, which is kind of funny because it's doing better than Encanto, Disney's Encanto. So apparently Sing 2 is doing something that Disney wasn't doing. It's not been very good for the Disney box office, if you really think about it, when you kind of really sit down and think about it. Like, what is going on to the point where Disney isn't really doing much? And of course, everybody was like, "Oh my God, Disney did it again with the Spider-Man movie," and it's just like, no. Disney and Marvel don't own Spider-Man. Sony does. It's a Sony thing, and Sony did it not once but twice. Well, actually 3 times if you really think about it, because whether you liked it or not, Venom 2 did better than all of the MCU movies, though. I mean, and that's just the truth. It made more money back. It had less of a budget, and it made more back. It is what it is. And then not only that, then you brought people back with Ghostbusters Afterlife, which that also did well. So you have 3 movies, and then of course you have Spider-Man No Way Home that just succeeded expectations, which, if you knew the leaks, you knew that this movie was going to do well, which opens up Sony for so many things to do with not only just Tom Holland Spider-Man, with also Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. I'm just saying. But the reason why it's kind of crazy, because Matrix was such a big franchise, even though, a lot of people to this day believe that Matrix should have never had a second and third movie, which I agree. I don't know. It's kind of one of those, the movie revolutionized everything. And then when the sequel movies came out, you're like, what the hell? And apparently, from what being said, because I have HBO Max, and people were even telling me don't even watch Matrix Resurrection, because they was like, it's dog boo boo. Like, and I don't know if I want to waste my time, because don't get me wrong, I mean, I watched the other Matrix movies when they came out. Like, I watched the first one, I liked the first one, but then when the second and third one came out, I was just like, okay. But I think you could have ended it at the first movie. You know how sometimes some movies just should be done one and done? That's what I feel like the Matrix should have been, one and done. Like, I think the only other Matrix thing that I actually enjoyed was Animatrix. Other than that, I didn't really enjoy the second and third movie. Yeah, it had cool moments in them, but for the most part, the first movie did what it needed to do. Yeah, it left a few unanswered things, but I think, we could have left that franchise alone and called it a day. But, I guess with WB, they were like, hey, we need to make another fourth one. I don't care how you do it, but figure it out. And that's what I've been hearing. I feel like a lot of people was like, it's just a retread of the first movie. Like the greatest hits of the first, second, and third movie, with featuring Neo and Trinity trying to get back together because it's supposed to be a love story at the end of the day. And I heard that they pushed back John Wick again. So I was like, well, yeah, of course they're probably going to push back John Wick because they don't want the stinker of Matrix to permeate John Wick Chapter 4, which, we don't need that because, let's be honest, John Wick is amazing, and I would have preferred John Wick coming out instead of Matrix Resurrection. And I really think that it should teach WB, like, hey, stop making movies. Or no, not even just WB, Hollywood in general is, hey, stop making movies for no reason. If you really want fans, if you really care about fans, if you really want something for fans to, come and watch, give them something to actually be inspired by or actually want to come back. Like, I believe, like, what Spider-Man No Way Home did, I believe that the Star Wars sequel trilogy could have did something like that. Like, you could have brought in all of the old fans and new fans by tying it together, but you do it in such a respectful way. And nowadays, y'all always want to try to be like, oh, we want to subvert expectations and we want to change everything about it. And it's just like, can you stop for once? Stop trying to subvert my expectations and trying to change everything about it. Because what did people like about the franchise in the first place, right? You know what people liked about the franchise. Okay, if you know what we liked about the franchise, why change that? For who? For who? The new audience? Yeah, they might like it, but it's not enough of them to hold the franchise together like you've been doing. You need to learn how to respect the audience that you had a long time ago. And that's what's wrong. And then now I'm hearing, even not only that, now I'm hearing people trying to make excuses for the Matrix. Like, oh, it was because it was Christmas and it was COVID or whatever. No. COVID didn't stop Ghostbuster. COVID didn't stop Spider-Man. COVID didn't stop Sing 2. COVID didn't stop King Kong versus Godzilla. COVID didn't stop Fast 9. Like, there are so many other movies that came out that did well that you can't use COVID as an excuse. You just can't. You really can't. I'm sorry you don't like it, but that's just the truth. That is literally the truth. You gotta stop making up excuses or whatever. Like, are you allergic to money? Because that's what I want to know. If you're allergic to money, let me know. Because this just doesn't make any sense. Because I feel like you could have did something interesting with the Matrix Resurrection, but from the leaks, from what I've been hearing from people talking about it, it wasn't good. And it just felt so unnecessary, especially with how the third movie had ended. And then you're trying to do like this meta commentary about the Matrix and Warner Brothers and video games and making sequels to movies that don't need it or whatever. It's like, okay, but did you not even take your own advice? Like, what were you possibly thinking, WB? I don't know, but a lot of these movies fail this year, and of course, they trying to put, excuses on excuses and then trying to blame the fans. No, you can't keep blaming us for your failures, for your screw up. You're the one who made those decisions and choices. Like Stephen King with the whole West Side Story. I'm not going to put Spanish in there because I don't want subtitles in there because I don't want the English white people to take the power of the Spanish language. Well, you dummy, if half of the movie is in Spanish and I don't understand what I'm watching, why would I watch it? I mean, you do realize a lot of people watch anime, right? And anime, they still talk in their native language, but guess what they also have? They have subtitles, you moron. They have subtitles. Maybe you should think about, I don't know, having subtitles or whatever, and stop trying to virtue signal to people. Enough of the virtue signaling. Who are you virtual signaling for? Why would you focus on such a small minutia audience instead of trying to capture as much as the audience? And then you think that this, okay, so this movie failed, right? And this was this whatever the main actress, that was her first starring role. Now she starred in a flop. Now they're about to put her in Snow White. And when Snow White flop, it's like, what are you going to do? You're going to blame the fans for that? The fans told you, hey, Snow White is literally a white woman. Why is she being played by a Latino girl? And then you're going to try to say that people are being racist or whatever. No, it's not being racist. It's just facts. It's just stating facts. I don't understand why people keep trying to ignore facts. You know, the science is there. The truth is there. You can choose to ignore it or not, but that doesn't stop the truth from happening. Snow White, white as snow with rosy red lips and raven hair, pale skin as white as the snow. I'm sorry, did any of that says brown skin, Latino skin, speaking Spanish? Did it come from a Spanish speaking folklore? Well, it's a fairy tale. Okay, but the fairy tale has origins and roots that go back 700 years. That goes back to the time of French and German and European. These are European stories. They're not Latino, they're not Hispanic stories. They're not black stories. They are literally Central Europe, where white people wrote these stories. The people are white. They're not another race. So stop trying to go in there and trying to change it and then be confused. It's the same thing with The Matrix. You changed things that people liked about The Matrix. You brought the movie back when nobody asked you to bring it back, just to rehash the first, second, and third movie. And for what? Because you need a Matrix movie? Okay, I guess so, but Matrix is doing bad, and how you want to try to be like, well, here's a whole bunch of excuses, or, oh, the fans were just being harsh on it or whatever. No, I mean, it probably just sucked. I haven't seen it, and I don't really care about seeing it because I didn't like how the franchise ended anyway, so why would I want to watch a fourth movie about it? Who cares? Like, it's not adding anything to the story. That's great that some people want to go watch it, but clearly people didn't want to go watch it. It didn't make a lot of money in the box office. I'm sorry. Maybe it might make some money international. Probably, hopefully you can get something international. But it's just not a good story. It's not a good look, and it's nobody's fault outside of the studio heads and the writer and the director's fault. Like Hollywood, it's y'all fault. Start taking responsibility and stop trying to make excuses. You need to understand that criticism isn't hateful. You need to be like, well, hold on, let's listen to what the fans and the audience is really saying, why this movie failed. And if we do get green light for a sequel, maybe we can course correct. That's how you do stuff like that. I mean, because let's be honest, I don't think that we would have got a good Spider-Man movie if Sony wasn't involved with this third movie. It feels more hands-on in this movie than it does the other Spider-Man movies. I think Sony was like, no, Marvel. We let you have it, but we heard those stupid rumors that you was trying to do, team him up with Captain Marvel. Nah, we got something better, Spider-Verse, live action-wise, and we're going to separate Peter from all of this Marvel stuff because he is such a solo character. He needs to stay a solo character. But yeah, and I think they did a successful job at doing it. Now there's so many possibilities with all of the Spider people, and like I said, I wouldn't mind seeing another team up between the three Spider characters. I think Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield deserve more Spider-Man movies if they're willing, especially Andrew Garfield. Like, Andrew Garfield is primed and ready for being the Sony Spider-Man for now on, to be honest. Like, you can literally do several movies with Andrew Garfield. He's matured, he's a great actor, and he has such a good talent that let's go. And I wish people could say that about The Matrix, where people were so excited that word of mouth was so amazing that you had to go and see The Matrix, but it wasn't because it sucked. And that's sad, to be honest, but it is what it is. So yeah, Matrix Resurrection. Matrix sucked. And now it's everybody's fault but The Matrix. But yeah, tell me what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.